Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here back with another one for you. So guys, we're going on about 70 years of these 304s out here trying to be strong and independent.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
And guys, the biggest lie that's been told to these chicks is that they can try and have a career. Most of them have jobs, but try and have a career and then put off having kids, right? And that IVF is the plan B, the ultimate gotcha, because I can have a career and get my PhD, blah, 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 blah. Then they turn 35, 40, 45 and try and have IVF done and realize
you've been had, you've been took, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
guys, IVF doesn't work. IVF is not even a backup plan. It's a Hail Mary. If you're 35 and up, you have less than a 20% chance. And over 40, it's like 6%. And it costs thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Why would these chicks keep doing this?
Some people are really fucking stupid.
And of course, they go to the internet and cry. So guys, we're going to go to Dumpster Fire known as TikTok and look at some of these absolute morons crying about IVF not working. But before we do that, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment, guys. Share the videos too. Join my Discord. There's the playlist at the end. I'm offering memberships, guys, so hit the join button. And guys, man, oh man, oh man. I'm going to tell you this. Any guy who's with a woman who can't give him kids, he should leave. And I say this, guys, because there are men out there who, in their late 20s or early 30s, they got married and wanted to have kids, and their wife, no, right? And then all of a sudden, she's 40, let's go. And then all of a sudden, she doesn't, it's our infertility journey. Our? He didn't do anything to contribute to it. And now he has to break out his Visa card to freaking pay the 60, 70, 80 grand just for it to not work. Any guy who sits around and waits on some chick to have to use IVF,
Beta!
you are a beta. All right, let's get into this.
$65,000 on my IVF journey and ended up with nothing.
Look at that.
Here's what I wish I knew before I started. My IVF journey started about 2.5 years ago. My husband was diagnosed with cancer right after we got married. He went through treatment for about 6 months, and once he was all clear, we started with 2 IUIs. Those failed. We then took a break to try naturally for a while, and then we did our first round of IVF. We ended up with no viable embryos.
Look at that.
We took another break, changed some things up with my lifestyle, diet, supplements, acupuncture, all those things. And we recently did another IVF cycle, and the exact same thing happened. No viable embryos. I've never had a transfer, so I can't even speak to that stage of an IVF journey. I'm literally just in the place where 2 retrievals resulted in 0 embryos. They don't prepare you for this possibility. They prepare you that it might be hard, it might be long, but they don't really tell you that this could not work. When you go into these fertility clinics, there's pictures of babies all over the wall. There's not pictures of people who this didn't work for, people who have spent all of their savings, people who have gone into debt, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, and still not achieved what they wanted. Now, I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm not here to scare you or tell you not to do it. I just want to be real, because I don't think there's enough real talk about all this. I don't sugarcoat things. I want you to learn from what I've been through so you can hopefully have a better outcome than I did. So here's what I wish I knew. I wish I knew that more money doesn't equal success.
There you go.
I wish I knew that for some people, this won't work. If there is innately something wrong with your eggs or your sperm or your ability to carry a child, no amount of cycles will work. Your AMH levels matter, especially on an IVF journey. If you're going into a cycle and you're only going to get 2, 3, 4 eggs, your chances are so greatly reduced. And your doctor will be hopeful. Your doctor will say it only takes 1. But sometimes that 1 is 1 in a million. Another thing I wish I knew was it's all probably going to cost more than they tell you. On my IVF journey, both of my cycles ended up costing more. Another thing I wish I knew is how many people do multiple cycles. Nobody guaranteed me I get a baby after 1 IVF cycle, but the amount of people I know who have been through multiple IVF cycles, and maybe they did get a baby, maybe they didn't get a baby, but the doctors like to take it one cycle at a time, which is natural. If I had known that, I at least mentally could have prepared, financially could have prepared a little bit better. I didn't get the outcome I wanted, but this is not the end of our IVF journey. We are moving forward with some donor embryos, and I am so excited about that. It's not what I pictured, but now it feels exactly right and exactly where I'm supposed to be. So that's what I'm holding on to. If you've been on an IVF journey and you've had a failed cycle, maybe your entire IVF journey has failed, let's talk about it. Let's make sure people are aware of what all the possible outcomes are and not just the pretty picture postcard that the fertility industry wants to paint for you. Tell me in the comments.
You guys notice how she didn't mention her age? She has to be in her mid-40s, guys. And that's being generous, right, guys? And guys, we all know why the doctors don't say anything. It's because they want that money. The doctors have to project an image that everything's fine and dandy to keep tricking these absolute moronic women into giving them money. Absolutely insane. And guys, us guys can tell them this, that it's a scam. Most of the time it doesn't work. And what did they always say to us, guys?
How dare you?
Clown world. Guys, I don't feel bad for them at all. At all. She should have had a baby 25 years ago. And whoever you are, her husband, leave. Leave. There's no reason why her husband should stick with her through this. Absolutely insane. And she says she knows multiple chicks. Guys, so many women are doing this. Guys, if you want to invest in any stocks, invest in these companies that are IVF, drug manufacturers and all this other stuff. Clown world. Guys, look at these comments here. This first one, I spent $100,000 out of pocket so far. I'm currently carrying a dead baby. No one could have prepared me for this. Look at that. Person says, there's societal confusion about what IVF is. IVF is fantastic for addressing hormonal infertility. They can artificially rewire your hormones. Someone says, so true. The IVF journey is emotionally and financially exhausting. Look at that. Look at that. Person says, I started IVF at 40 after 3 years of trying naturally. 6 months of medicated cycles. Even with 5 transfers, 8 embryos, still got negative pregnancy tests. Look at that! Guys, this is what they think is the gotcha. This is the modern woman's gotcha. All you men trying to say that we should have babies, we can always do IVF. Look at that. Stupid. Apparently not. These chicks are cooked. And guys, they're going to expect you, if you're with them, and to pay for it. Absolutely insane, guys. Look at that. Hashtags, hashtag IVF Journey, hashtag infertility, hashtag fertility journey, hashtag IVF failure, hashtag infertility struggles, hashtag IVF real talk. Clown world. Now, guys, you're going to notice this because this is going to be a long-running series. Just like that previous chick, it's going to say our journey. Our. That means that there's some poor schmuck, some idiot, some moron, some beta is sitting there like, I'm going to pay money for my wife to have a baby. Please. There's plenty of young chicks you can get with. Come on, man. What are you talking about?
So we got our beta results yesterday. And unfortunately, it came back negative.
Look at that, guys. Came back negative. Look at that.
So this transfer failed. I don't understand why. I just really felt like this was the one that, is really gonna work and stick, and I don't know. I just got my hopes up. We did so many things differently. So I don't understand why it still didn't work. it sucks not being able to give my husband a baby. And not being able to give my parents a grandbaby. I feel like IVF has literally controlled so much of my life this past year.
Look at that.
It has made me sacrifice so many things. And it's still not enough.
Guys, let's pump the brakes here, right? So she's probably in her mid-30s, right? Maybe if you hadn't spent your freaking 20s in college getting freaking piped down by Chad, Tyrone, Gerardo, right? Come on, man. You know? What are you talking about? And guys, isn't it funny how the pro-baby deletionists who look like her are all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus, it's a clump of cells. And in the same breath, you have knuckleheads when they actually want the kid saying, oh my God, I can't have a baby, right? Please, right?
No, nothing, I'm just emotional. Why don't you understand that?
Guys, they asked for this. She asked for this. And she's crying, expecting us to feel bad for her? Shit.
And it's so hard seeing other people just get pregnant so easily. And it's even hard seeing people who are doing IVF too get pregnant and have a baby after like their first or second transfer. Like, I know it's not fair to compare, but I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I'm feeling so defeated right now, and it really feels like I will never be a mom.
Look at that.
I really don't know where we go from here, but
Cooked.
I do know.
Divorce. That's where your husband should go. Divorce. You know what I mean? Because you all know, guys, he's paid for the IVF, you know?
That I'm not ready to give up. I don't know. Could definitely use all the prayers right now.
All the prayers. Come on, guys. Look at that. All the prayers. God has nothing to do with the fact that you waited too long to have kids. Guys, and how dumb do you have to be as a woman, right? There are a small percentage of chicks that are born barren, right? That are born with stuff wrong. But for the most part, the large majority of chicks can have kids, right? And guys, you're going to goof up the one thing that your body is biologically made to do, you absolute dunderhead. Why? Why?
You stupid woman!
Look at that. This chick says, I'm so sorry. I'm assuming, round number 4. After 2 miscarriages and 1 complete failure to implant. I'm so sorry. I'm praying for you. Person says, I'm really sorry. We've done 5 transfers and 5 miscarriages and 7 embryos. You look at that, guys. As an IVF warrior. An IVF warrior? Please, come on.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Look at that. Infertility is so unfair. Look at that. All these chicks. Guys, look at all these chicks. All these women all saying the same thing. And I hope there's not some knucklehead or some simp that's holding on. Don't worry, dear. I'll just keep running my credit card, dear. And we'll have a little pet tube baby. Please. Guys, she has a lot of hashtags. I'm not reading these. Clown world.
You know what most people are shocked about when you leave infertility treatments without a child? Is that there are no resources given to you. It's like this craziest thing that you go through this huge realization that your life has been turned upside down and your life is turning out so different than you ever could have imagined.
There you go.
And you don't even get like a phone call after, I don't know about you, like after that last visit when I learned that my only frozen embryo was chromosomally abnormal, and then I was, it was recommended that I stop pursuing any further treatments.
Look at that.
I was very appreciative that they gave me that advice to not just be on this IVF roller coaster for more years after I'd already been on it for 7 years. But it was just like,
whoa, wait a minute, guys. We just can't let that slide, right, guys? 7 years. She's been trying to do IVF for 7 years. Look at that.
Checked in and seen how I was doing. So I'm curious, did you get offered any type of help, any type of resources when you found out that you couldn't become a mom, or when you ended your fertility journey? And I'm not talking about someone offering you adoption or egg donor services. Like when you knew that your life was going to move forward without children, was there any follow-up from anyone on your care team, whether it was the fertility clinic, one of your physicians, a nurse practitioner, anyone? I'm just curious. Let me know. You know what?
Look at that, guys. There is no support. Because, guys, the whole media agenda is just to make this look like it's a great thing that works every single time. Right, guys? And then these chicks finally realized.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Because if they actually put out the numbers, chicks might not give their money away. Of course, there's no support. That would actually show that there's failures going on. Insane. Look at that, guys. And this chick's probably in her mid-40s. Cooked. This is the future for about 60-70% of all modern women. Especially Gen Z and young millennials. Look at that. One of two paths. Either fail IVF, or they'll be in their mid-30s letting Nug and friggin' Gavin and Nug 11 shoot up the club. 10 comments. OMG, it was just bye. Let us know if you ever want to try again. Someone says, so true, I had 5 treatments. Look at that. Cooked, guys, cooked. Guys, these chicks are cooked, man. I don't feel bad for them. They asked for this, guys. This would have never happened 70 years ago, ever. As we live in a society where we could have chicks like the women that I just showed you that are crying about not being able to have kids, but then all these anti-natalist, pro-baby deletion chicks all in the same society, right? Absolutely insane. Guys, there are hashtags. Hashtag IVF Journey. Hashtag failed. Hashtag childless. Hashtag infertility struggles. All right, you guys. This is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good one.